a gruesome murder of an 18-year-old boy. Who took a mother's son by hacking him with an axe, and why? And what does the boy's father have to do with it? Don't miss it. The shocking finale will leave you speechless. This is Psychic Investigations, a show of real and astonishing stories. Here, people who call themselves clairvoyants investigate sensational criminal cases and incredible supernatural phenomena. These two women are sisters. They live in a large Ukrainian city. Victoria is 40, Yulia is 35. Yulia was born with a terrible diagnosis, cerebral palsy.
Some have twisted arms or legs or trouble speaking. God spared me from that.
At first glance, Yulia looked just like anyone else, but she had trouble walking. It was hard for her to climb stairs or step over things. She could easily lose her balance and fall.
She couldn't sit or stand up on her own. She could be peeling potatoes, doing anything while standing, but then you had to help her sit down.
But I walked like everyone else. I wore heels. Nobody noticed anything. I just walked on tiptoes. I couldn't put my heel down. And if I sat like this, I'd need help getting up. If someone bumped into me, I'd fall right away. There's no strength in my legs.
At 17, Yulia got pregnant and gave birth to a son, Serhiy. She says things didn't work out with the child's father, so her family helped raise the boy. Later, her father died of heart disease. And 6 years ago, she lost her mother to a heart attack. The emotional shock left Yulia unable to walk.
She suffered a shock and that was it. Since then, she hasn't walked. We carry her in our arms.
That's when Yulia and her son, then just 12, moved in with her older sister Victoria.
She needs constant care. She can't do anything on her own.
They lived as a big family, Yulia with her son, and Victoria with her husband Yuri and two daughters, 15-year-old Anna and 19-year-old Yana. Money was always tight. Right after finishing school, Serhiy started working, doing construction jobs across the country.
My son was my whole world. I never imagined something like this could happen. Not in a million years.
Serhiy's body was found at the family's summer house. Someone had brutally struck him in the head with an axe.
According to the forensic report, more than 4 blows were delivered to the head with a sharp object. That object could very well have been an axe.
I still can't believe he's gone. He was my only child.
The summer house on a small plot of land was just 3 kilometers from the family home. Before the tragedy, Serhiy and his aunt had dug up almost the entire garden for the winter. A small section was left unfinished. Victoria asked her nephew to finish the job. That autumn morning, Serhiy left early to do just that.
He said, "I'll be there until evening, probably. I just want to finish the patch we didn't get to with Aunt Victoria."
Not even a flutter in my heart. No gut feeling, nothing to warn me, even just a little. I would have never sent him there. That dacha can go to hell. He'd still be alive if I hadn't told him, finish digging that bit. But no one thought anything would happen.
That was the last time anyone saw Serhiy alive. The next day, they found him dead at the dacha.
I raised him, gave birth to him, and someone just took away the most precious thing.
These women, Serhiy's mother, aunt, and cousins, haven't found peace for 6 months, and they still don't know who murdered him so brutally, or why.
I think about him all the time. Sometimes I'm at work, sitting at my computer, and I just sit and start crying because I realize I'll never see him again.
Right after Serhiy Tokmakov's death, a criminal case was opened for murder. But according to Yulia, his mother, in all this time, no one from law enforcement has spoken to her or taken any testimony. She hasn't been informed about the progress of investigation either. And due to her disability, she can't go find out for herself.
No one from the police has ever come here. It's like I don't exist. They haven't called, nothing.
Trying to get some answers, Yulia's niece Jana went to the district police department several times, with no results.
I asked the investigator why the police still haven't come to see us. They just said, well, the investigation is ongoing, you know. Leave your phone number and we'll come by in a few days. We're still waiting.
As it turns out, there is a suspect in the murder of Serhiy Tokmakov. It's his friend, Serhiy Stepanuk. He's 15 years old.
But neither Serhiy's family nor his friends believe that this boy could have committed such a brutal crime.
No, we just don't believe it.
We don't.
I've known him for a while. He was always hanging out with the group. A normal kid, always greeted me. We're practically neighbors. Never saw him do anything bad or act out.
The boys had met 3 years ago. They spent a lot of time together. Stepanuk often came over to the Tokmakov home. They worked out, played computer games, and hung out with girls.
Then the police said something about Stepanuk and it rang a bell. He had just been at our house recently.
I baked a pie. They were sitting right here, having pie and tea. Just about a week ago, they were at the computer laughing together.
Yulia says she saw Stepanuk as almost like a second son. She simply refuses to believe that this boy could have killed her Serhiy in such a horrific way.
I said, Stepanuk? I was in shock. That's impossible. He came over, was friends with my son, had tea with us. They'd lie on the couch watching movies together.
And yet, law enforcement suspect Serhiy's friend of the murder. Then why hasn't he been arrested? From what we've learned, the boy is still going to school and hanging out with friends. Meanwhile, the police give no explanations to the victim's family. Just keep repeating, ongoing investigation. Is it possible they pinned the blame on the first person who came under their radar, just to close the case quickly? Desperate to uncover who killed her only son and why, Yulia has turned to people with extraordinary abilities for help.
I have no one left to hope for except the psychics. This is my last chance.
The investigation of this case is being undertaken by the participants of our project. Husband and wife duo Jana Shulikova and Serhiy Kolesnichenko.
Feels like something a maniac would do to a victim.
I keep seeing flashes of a horrific, terrifying crime. And what's even more disturbing is that the person, or people responsible, are walking among us, smiling and laughing. They got away with it.
The psychics arrive in the city, heading to the home where Serhiy spent the last 6 years of his life with his family.
We're pulling up now?
This place, it gives off a vile energy. Stop, somewhere right here. Wait, stop the van. I'm telling you, this place is foul. You know what it feels like? Like I'm a small, defenseless woman. And a monster is attacking me. And it's as if I can feel it. This quiet, vile breath right above my ears.
From this place?
Yes. It must be connected to the boy's death, the one whose parents were about to meet.
What do the psychic sensations mean? And how are they connected to Serhiy's murder, especially since his body was found at a dacha nearly 10 kilometers from here?
Let's just get to the site. We'll see everything there.
I don't know, but the place feels disturbing.
Yulia, her sister, and her niece Anna are already waiting for the psychics.
Hello.
Hello. I'm Jana.
I'm Serhiy.
I'm Yulia's sister.
Let's go inside.
Hello.
My name is Yulia. My son was murdered. I want to know who did it, and under what circumstances.
Do you have anything of his, a photo or a personal item?
His necklace.
All right. If you don't mind, yes, please. Did you give it to him as a gift?
Yes, I did.
I gave it to him on his 16th birthday, as a keepsake.
Listen, he didn't die here, did he? How do I explain this?
It feels like a shed or something like that. It must be a small space, probably even smaller than this room. I'm holding this hat. Was he wearing it that day?
Yes.
My hands are burning from this hat. This suggests a head injury, likely a traumatic brain injury.
Around 11 p.m., when Serhiy still hadn't come home, Yulia grew anxious. She called a neighbor who lived near their dacha and asked him to check if everything was all right.
The neighbor called and said no one was there. The house was locked.
The next morning, Serhiy's body was found at the dacha.
Police found Serhiy Tokmakov's body on a bed. There was a towel covering his head. At first glance, it looked like he was just sleeping. But when the policemen lifted the towel, they saw deep chop wounds on his skull.
They showed me the killer's image. It was definitely a man, but his face was blank, featureless. Even now, when I recall it, I get goosebumps. It felt like a split identity, like something was taken over. Very strange energy.
It was someone who showed one side of himself to the world, but hid who he truly was, like wearing a mask.
What do the psychic's strange visions mean? Who is the person they're seeing?
I saw Serhiy with a girl. He really loved her, dreamed of marrying her. But there's something strange about this girl. I keep seeing the numbers 6, 9, 15. She's really young, about 15 or 16, still in school.
A year before his death, Serhiy met a beautiful girl named Katya through mutual friends. He fell for her instantly. She was only 14.
Basically, she was more like a little sister to him at first. That's how he likely saw her. Just a kid, like baby girl, something like that.
Exactly. He used to say baby girl.
He was completely smitten with her. It was always Katya this, Katya that. My Katya is the most beautiful. She's the best. Her name was all we ever heard around the house. He was so obsessed, he almost called me Katya. He was head over heels.
Was he planning to marry her?
He said he was.
Because I'm getting the card of an unfulfilled marriage.
He said, we'll have a wedding, then I'll buy an apartment, we'll have kids, 2 of them. I'll bring mom to live with us. She'll help Katya take care of the babies, and I'll go work up north.
He said he'd earn money, buy an apartment, or build a house. He said, you'll babysit and I'll work. Then I'll buy a car.
But none of Serhiy's dreams were meant to come true. Who and why took his life so cruelly?
I felt Serhiy had a deep, radiant love. His heart seemed to shine with it. But I also sensed that this love was one-sided. I see other guys standing behind his girlfriend, like shadows, and she was using Serhiy almost like a shield to shut them out.
Could Serhiy be killed because of the girl he loved? We tried to contact Katya. She's underage, and apparently her parents forbid her from talking to us. But why?
It's just, she's living her own life. She's very socially active. Honestly, I would say, not only is she not ready for marriage, she's not the kind of girl for marriage.
He was crazy about her.
I didn't want them to be together.
It was always drama. She'd call Serhiy, someone said something about me, and he'd drop everything and go deal with it. He was obsessed. I love her, he kept saying.
As it turned out, Serhiy Tokmakov was jealous of his girlfriend Katya, which led to regular conflicts with her other admirers.
There were arguments, tension. Katya was that kind of girl. Here and there, back and forth. But he always forgave her. She went to another city, hung out with some guy, and that guy called Serhiy and told him everything. He forgave her anyway.
When I tuned into the killer, I felt this wild, boiling energy, like everything inside him was raging, pure fury. I could almost hear the words, "She's mine. I won't give her up." It felt like something a jealous rival of Serhiy's could have said, someone who also had feelings for Katya.
So could one of Katya's admirers have killed Serhiy just to eliminate a rival?
Your boy got tired of her. He couldn't take her behavior anymore.
Was it around September? Maybe late September? Did they break up around that time?
She's already seeing another guy.
And the breakup was mutual. She didn't want a serious relationship, and the boy got tired of always supporting her.
Yes, exactly.
Despite her parents' ban, Katya eventually agreed to meet with us. She didn't want to go on camera, but said she and Serhiy broke up over something trivial. So small, she doesn't even remember what it was. She added that if Serhiy were still alive, they probably would have made up. The thought of losing him forever had never even crossed her mind.
About 2 weeks before his death, Serhiy Tokmakov and his girlfriend ended things by mutual agreement. After that, there was no reason for jealousy, neither for Serhiy and nor for her new admirers.
So Katya and her admirers had nothing to do with this. Then who killed Serhiy and why so brutally?
You're showing up very strangely to me. I'm sorry to ask this, but you can't walk at all? You weren't born like that, were you?
When Yulia turned 1, her parents eagerly waited for her first steps, but noticed she couldn't stay on her feet and kept falling. For her to take even a single step, someone had to lift her and hold her upright. Because of this, kindergartens refused to accept her, and later schools hesitated too.
No one wanted to take responsibility. Maybe now it's different, but back then, no. They kicked me out of kindergarten. Take her wherever you want. I won't be held liable if someone pushes her and she falls, they said.
Yulia was sent to a boarding school in another city, but she didn't stay long.
Can you imagine sending a child to another city? I studied there for 2 years, 1st and 2nd grade. That's when the Chernobyl disaster happened. I was brought back home, only finished 2 grades in that school. After that, I had to teach myself how to read and write. I never got a proper education. It's been hard.
It's been really hard for her. But she's a smart woman. She draws beautifully. She keeps up with everything, through books, through TV.
Yulia had few people to talk to, almost no close friends. No one wanted to burden themselves with someone with a disability. She spent nearly her whole life at home, cooking for her family and caring for her son the best she could. He was her joy, her hope.
May I hold your hand?
Listen, I'm seeing something so awful it's making me feel sick. I need to warn you. I'm about to say some really unpleasant things. Because if what I'm sensing is real and not some hallucination, it's just horrifying. This boy, from the very beginning, from conception to his very first breath, it's like one long, uninterrupted catastrophe.
When I held your hand, I felt it immediately. I still feel it running through me. You've had surgery. I'm sensing gynecological, most likely a C-section.
Yes.
That wasn't just a C-section, that was a nightmare. Her whole body gave out. The inflammation started.
After Yulia got pregnant, doctors warned that her cerebral palsy made the pregnancy very risky. And no one could predict the complications during childbirth. Both her life and the baby's were at risk.
They said my heart wouldn't survive it, that I could end up paralyzed. I just wouldn't make it through.
The doctor's fears proved true. Yulia had to undergo a cesarean. After the birth, her fever spiked, and she was rushed to intensive care. Another surgery followed.
They basically pulled me back from the other side.
This brave woman with cerebral palsy risked her life to bring a child into the world. She nearly died, raised a beautiful son, and then some monster hacked him to death with an axe. Since Serhiy's death, Yulia has lost all meaning in life. She can't eat, can't sleep, has lost 15 kilograms. Her family fears she may take her own life from the grief.
Serhiy, giving birth was only part of the nightmare. How did she even end up with this child? He grew up without a father. The man basically ran off, disappeared like he'd never existed. It wasn't just that he didn't want to get married. He acted like he didn't even know her, like he'd never seen her in his life. Just vanished. A total ghost. Pretended he had nothing to do with any of it. A real class act.
Yulia doesn't explain much. She says she simply couldn't find common ground with Serhiy's father.
Please, can I not talk about that? It's too painful.
But what really happened between Serhiy's parents Why is it so hard for Yulia to even recall it?
Basically, it led to deep psychological trauma, the kind that shuts a person down for 6 months or more. You know what it looks like? Honestly, it feels like she got pregnant very unexpectedly, badly timed. And I'll say this carefully, not entirely of her own will.
It's just the situation, the image that I'm seeing. It really feels like there was violence done to you. I was shown a horrifying scene of rape. It was chaos, a nightmare. I couldn't make out anyone's face, just screams. But the screams were muffled, like coming through a closed hand, and I couldn't even tell who was screaming, whether it was a man or a woman.
This is horrifying. Did Yulia give birth to Serhiy after being raped?
I sense violence, as if you were forced. It feels like, how old were you? 15, 14?
16?
16.
When I stood near Yulia, I just wanted to cry. I saw so clearly how a man's hands grabbed her. That bastard covered her mouth so tightly she couldn't even breathe. I immediately remembered that awful feeling I got the moment we drove into the city. Wait, stop the bus. That place, it makes me feel like I'm a little helpless woman and there's a monster attacking me. I could almost hear this awful breathing, quiet, disgusting, right by my ears. That's when I realized we had just passed the place that fills Yulia with fear and revulsion. We were passing right by the place where she was raped.
It's enough to make your skin crawl. As it turns out, Yulia really was raped near the exact location where Zhana Shulikova stopped the bus. Yulia used to live in that neighborhood with her parents.
Forgive me, but it seems you tried to hide it for a long time.
Yes, I did. I would cover my belly, hide it from my parents.
Yulia says she was too afraid to tell her parents about the assault. And worse, she became pregnant from that man. She just locked herself in her room and cried non-stop.
This wasn't someone you were dating, was it?
No, he was dating my friend.
Together with her friend and her friend's boyfriend, the young people went out for an evening walk. The guy said he was thirsty, and Yulia suggested they stop by her yard. At that moment, her friend stepped away to a nearby store. To get to Yulia's house, they had to walk past a wooded area. That's where the guy attacked and raped her.
A month after the rape, Yulia started feeling nauseous, and by 6 months, her belly began to show.
When her parents found out what had happened, they decided to keep the baby and report the rapist to the police. But when they went to the police, they were told too much time had passed, proving the rape would be nearly impossible.
It turned into a major crisis for the family. The entire household had to come together to deal with it, and it eventually becomes something enormous, practically overwhelming.
Yulia says she barely knew her attacker. At the time of the assault, he had just started dating her friend. They had only seen each other a few times.
I didn't want anything to do with him. I never wanted to know him.
And you didn't wring his neck?
We went through hell.
Victoria says at first, the whole family feared that people would start mocking Yulia, saying, a disabled girl who hardly ever leaves the house got pregnant, and from some stranger. They started searching for the rapist on their own and found out where he lived. But both the rapist and his parents pretended not to know what it was all about.
He did that to her and then just went on living?
He just turned around and walked away afterward. He disappeared for a long time.
The friend, whose boyfriend raped Yulia, acted like nothing had happened, but the girls stopped speaking to each other. Later, rumors spread in the town that the guy had moved away. It's hard to wrap your head around this. A woman born with cerebral palsy is raped. She nearly dies in childbirth. After losing both her parents, her legs stopped working. And finally, some monster kills her only son, Serhiy.
I get the feeling her son probably knew about all this, about how he came to be. I mean, the circumstances of how he was born.
I told him when he was old enough to understand. I never hid anything from him. He was so trusting. We sat down and talked about it.
That's when I saw Serhiy's father. He was a pitiful man.
A coward, really. Petty, with a small, nasty little soul. And that's exactly how I saw Serhiy's killer, too. Then I saw a vision. of that man reappearing in Yulia and Serhiy's lives.
It's horrifying. What does it all mean? Could Serhiy's own father have killed him?
There's also this strange feeling. Did they even have any contact in life?
He came once. The father...
So he came just once. That's very strange. The son had mixed feeling, a complicated feeling toward him. On one hand, he was his father, but on the other...
He came like a neighbor.
Yes, like a neighbor.
Yes.
It was Serhiy's birthday. He had just turned 12, and suddenly, an uninvited guest appeared at the door. His father. He had just returned to the city and found out Yulia had given birth to his son. Then he decided to meet him.
I burst into tears. He looked at him like he didn't know whether to run to him or stay put. And Serhiy looked back, totally confused. And I cried, "Serhiy, this is your father."
When I looked into that moment, I heard terrifying screams. There was a horrible fight. I actually got scared. It was awful. Could it really be the boy's own father? Could he have killed his own son after a fight? Could that be him? He's the faceless man I keep seeing. It's all very strange. I have a feeling the person behind this is someone who was close to the family.
So who is this faceless man Jana Shulikova keeps mentioning?
I tried to look deeper into the argument that happened when Serhiy's father came to see him on his birthday, and I heard a woman screaming. I realized it was Yulia. She was arguing with Serhiy's father because he wanted to take the boy somewhere, and the mother was absolutely against it. After that, the man never appeared in his son's life again.
The man gave his son 200 hryvnias and promised to go to the market the next day to buy new clothes. But Yulia got upset and screamed, telling him not to even come near the child.
The next day he said, "I'll come, we'll go into town." I told Serhiy, "You're not going anywhere with him. He could take you who knows where." I didn't know where he lived. I didn't know anything about him.
After that, the man vanished and never reached out again.
After Yulia refused to let her son go to the market with his father, the man showed no interest in staying in touch. In the 6 years following that one visit to his son, he never made contact again. This man had no motive to commit the murder. His involvement in Serhiy's death is highly unlikely.
But I was almost certain the killer was someone very close to the family. I just couldn't figure it out. Was he a trusted friend? Or maybe someone who wanted to become part of the family? I kept seeing that faceless man inside Serhiy's home, eating, drinking, sitting at the same table. And Yulia treated him very kindly.
Could someone Serhiy knew have killed him? Someone the Tokmakov family trusted? Someone who often visited their home?
We're definitely going to the scene.
It'll be easier to understand everything once we're there. What happened and who's to blame.
So who's coming with us?
She can't go. I'll call my husband. He'll come with us.
All right, let's go then.
Yulia stays home. Her sister's husband, Yuri, has just come back from work. The psychics head out with Yuri and Victoria to the dacha, where Serhiy's body was found. They stop 300 meters away. The road is too washed out to drive any farther. The psychics continue on foot.
This is our garden plot.
The family bought this house 4 years before the tragedy. Their acquaintances urgently needed money. They were practically giving it away.
Please come in.
So, looks like his feet were over there. Head this way. He didn't see the blow coming. Honestly, it looks like he never even regained consciousness. I don't see any signs that he tried to get up or defend himself.
According to the forensic report, Serhiy was struck with an axe while he was asleep. The position of his body suggests he didn't even have time to realize what was happening. He died in his sleep.
Blood spatters, they're still on the walls.
We already burned and scraped everything down. The blood was everywhere, on the curtains, all over.
It was a swinging motion with the axe. See that? Ugh. Did you see it? It was simply impossible to stay inside the house, but the moment I stepped into the yard, the smell of blood practically pulled me forward. My senses led me to a certain tree. I realized there was something very important here, so I asked Serhi to work at that spot with the ritual sword to find out what it was.
I tried to, in a way, cut through the ground on an energetic level to understand what really occurred here and how it relates to Serhi's death. That's when I started receiving information about the killer and his mental state. There's striking, then panic. The person first throws down the murder weapon, sits in a corner, then suddenly jumps up, really jumps up, practically runs out.
He must have been digging like a dog, running around here with that axe. I think he buried it nearby.
The murder weapon, an axe, was found buried by police officers at Serhiy Tokmakov's dacha, not far from the entrance.
Serhiy came here to dig up the garden. Apparently, he got tired, lay down to rest, and fell asleep. At that time, someone entered the house. Someone who, according to the psychics, knew Serhiy and his family and struck him on the head with the axe. But who was it, and why did they do it?
The killer was alone. I only sensed 2 people in that room. The victim and the killer. Just the 2 of them. No one else nearby. And I keep getting this strange impression. You know, an image. Small, frail, kind of like a little rat. And, you know, it's like this person is always hiding. Maybe under a hood or a hat. Just a little face peeking out. Hiding like that, but familiar. Someone known. Someone who had access.
So, is it possible that Serhiy's best friend, the one the police suspect, really is the killer?
If they weren't so close, maybe I'd think so, but it's hard to believe it was him. His friend. They were friends for so many years.
We need to go there. We have to go where that guy lives.
It turns out Serhiy Stepanyuk lives just 10 minutes from here.
Hello, anyone home? Honestly, it's silly not to talk if you've got nothing to hide.
Hello. We need to talk to Stepanyuk, his mom or whoever's home.
You can't get through to them.
Can you help us call them out?
They said they won't come out.
Excuse me, but could I speak with them one-on-one if I come in? I'm an expert with the project Psychic Investigations. Please, let me talk to you. What if I come in alone? Did you ask her? No? She doesn't even want to talk to me?
You're not going in alone.
I will. I'm not afraid.
What's there to be afraid of?
I have just a few questions. May I? No answer? No greeting? They don't want to talk to me, not even through the window. When we came to this guy's house and no one opened the door, although someone was clearly home, I instantly got this uneasy feeling if he was the killer or not. If someone is hiding, that means they have something to hide. And if they have something to hide, well, that's a problem.
I couldn't just leave it like that. I decided to try again, to talk to this guy or his family.
I don't want to see anyone. I know. That's enough.
Why don't you want to talk?
I don't want to talk. We're grieving.
Could you come out?
I'm calling the police.
For nearly half an hour, our journalists tried to convince Serhiy Stepanyuk's mother to come outside and talk to the psychics.
I can see you looking through the window. Can you come out just for a second? No one's accusing you. Maybe your child needs help too? Have you thought about how he's going to live with this?
Yulia arrives in her wheelchair, accompanied by her niece Yana, who had just returned from work and helped her aunt get here. The psychics seem confused. Will they be able to answer the question Yulia came to them with? Who hacked her son to death with an axe? And was one of his best friends, Serhiy Stepanuk, involved?
Most likely these people have lived through similar things. That's what I'm sensing. And I feel like someone is even in prison now.
His uncle is in prison. Well, as far as I know, the mom doesn't work. The dad is in prison for murder, people say. They say almost every man in that family line has done time.
I got the impression that the deceased boy was making his friend do something, or humiliating him. This very friend, near whose house we were standing back then. The resentment didn't go away on its own. It kept building up inside. And in the very last moment, something happened that he just couldn't take anymore. He simply snapped. Moreover, on the very last day of his life, the deceased seemed to treat his friend like a slave.
But what does all this mean? Could it really be that Serhiy Stepanuk killed his friend? But why? And what kind of grievance is the clairvoyant talking about? We found answers to these questions only after the first court hearing in this case, which took place several months after the psychics conducted their investigation.
As it turned out, the day after the tragedy, Serhiy Stepanuk came to the police on his own and confessed to killing Serhiy Tokmakov. Moreover, he pointed out the location where he had hidden the murder weapon, an axe, which law enforcement later found.
I killed a person.
The family of the deceased didn't believe until the very end that his best friend was the killer.
Sometimes, unstable people go to the police and confess to things, whether they did them or not.
Yulia was even willing to believe that her son's friend had lost his mind from the grief of losing Serhiy, and that's why he confessed to the crime.
A person can't become unstable that quickly. It must have already been in his mind from the start. What really happened there is completely unclear. It felt like the killer was in a kind of split state.
According to Stepanuk, sometime after they became friends, Tokmakov began mocking and bullying him. Later, he allegedly extorted money from him and took his valuables. He even beat him. But Stepanuk never told anyone about this, except his family. On that day, Tokmakov supposedly didn't let Stepanuk go to college and made him dig the garden while he went to sleep.
I was heading to college in the morning. Serhiy caught up with me, stopped me and made me dig the garden. I was digging for him. Then my mom called. She was crying, asking why I hadn't gone to college. How much longer would this go on? I snapped and lost control. I went back and hit him several times with an axe.
But how can this be explained? Could it really be that Serhiy Tokmakov was abusing his friend? But why?
I felt that the deceased had gotten used to the idea that the world revolved around him. Everything was accessible to him, because everyone pitied him. He was growing up without a father, and his mother was disabled. Everyone catered to him, his mom, his aunt, his two cousins. That's why he truly believed that everyone owed him something, including his friends. If he didn't get what he wanted or things didn't go his way, he would simply take it by force.
It's incredibly hard for Serhiy's mother to accept what the psychics felt. As it turned out, she knew very little about her son, and believing that he could bully someone is extremely difficult for her. But after the psychic spoke, the family admitted that the boy could sometimes be quite selfish.
He moved in with us. Of course, he felt deprived. He used to have everything. But there were 3 of us here, and everything had to be shared. That was hard for him.
We managed to talk with Stepanuk's grandmother. She told us that before going to the police to confess, her grandson told her what happened right before he killed Tokmakov.
"If you confess, I'll destroy you," he said. Then he took out a shovel and said, "If you don't bring this many thousands of money, I'll make you dig a hole and bury you in it."
The victim was taking his things mocking him, and inflicting bodily harm. There are witness testimonies. The mother confirms that she took things from the victim that belonged to her son.
He demanded things from him, demanded mobile phones, then wanted to take his computer. He beat him.
Aggressive, quick-tempered, bullied him, would kicked him in the groin.
It's like they say, a knife in the back, to stab someone. So, the person was unconscious. Someone took the murder weapon, an axe, and simply took advantage of that. He just killed him. He remembers the first strike. After that, it's agony. When he came to, he realized what he had done, but it was already too late.
This story gives you goosebumps. The poor mother, who lost her only son at such a terrible cost, had no idea that Serhiy brought trouble on himself by abusing the person whom he called his friend.